Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me tell you something, man. Isagi, Ren Itochi, Kaiser, Michael Kaiser. Man, oh man, these three are PXG, right? I mean, everyone else is just filler at this point. I mean, even Hiyori, right? I mean, yeah, Hiyori, you know, they got their moments. You know, Aiku, not Aiku. What the hell am I talking about? Aiku. I use the Ubers. Listen, these three, Michael Kaiser, Itoshi Ren, and Isagi Yoichi, are their auras are just unmatched in this PXG game. It's just unfair, and it is just straight hype. I mean, these three are on demon time. I mean, we went from Isagi scoring in their face for the first goal for Bayern Munich. We got my boy Shido scoring his one and only goal. He's gonna score for this game, the headbutter, and the one and only goal. We already know Kunigami's gonna lock him down for the rest of the game. He ain't doing nothing, right? So, fucking Isagi scoring right in their face, scoring right in Michael and Ren's face. I mean, this is just insane. I mean, it was hype, right? And then we got Kaiser doubling back, right? Doubling back, taking all the spotlight, saying, "Oh, hell nah, Yoichi, you ain't doing this to me, right?" And then we see Michael Kaiser doing the Magnus Kaiser impact, bro, with that spin. I mean, it was just a lovely world-class goal. And then Bayern Munich got another goal, right? And now we see Destroyer Mode Ren, right? We see Destroyer Mode Ren. And the reason why this Destroyer Mode is different than the other Destroyer Modes, because he didn't know what activated his Destroyer Mode back in the U20 game. You see, he just had his brother, you know, that to activate that, he was backed into a corner, activate that, you know, destroying mode. You know, like I had no other choice but to destroy this obstacle in front of me. But the difference now is Ren understands how to activate this now. Ren understands what it takes to be in this mode. Ren understands what his best performance is. So now, while Ren is going through this PXG game, he is definitely going to score. Ain't nobody can say nothing that Ren's not going to score, right? Because then it can be a tie PXG game. Tie PXG Bayern Munich game. Last goal, most likely, Isagi Yoichi. If it's 50 mil per goal, and Isagi got a goal already, he's probably almost like tied with Ren, right? And if Ren gets a goal, he's gonna get another increase, which means that Isagi has to get that second goal to get that second 50 mil increase for him to be the #1 player in bluelock. Now, will it happen that smoothly? No. Will there be interceptions? Of course. Will there be steals? Of course. Will there be near misses? Of course. But by the end of it, we're going to see Isagi Yoichi in there deep, getting goals, right? That's the important part we need to remember, right? Now, does this mean that Isagi is better than Michael? Does this mean that Isagi is better than Michael Kaiser? No. Isagi is not better than Michael Kaiser. It's going to take a while for Isagi to be better than Michael Kaiser. Isagi is now getting to be on par with the new Gen 11. I believe him and Ren are basically on the same level. They're like a tier below. They're fast approaching, but they're a tier below the new Gen. So it's a little bit of a daunting task, but obviously, you know, our main boy Yoichi can do it. Now, the PXG game so far, I mean, it had a very, very strong start. I mean, it was almost like a Playboy Cardi concert. I mean, everybody was just hyped and throwing around, jumping around, throwing fries and shit like that. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, we had ball possessions, we had passes, we had mean faces, we had you ain't gonna do nothing. We had all the taunts and the boasting, right? And then obviously, you know, Shido got that sudden headbutter from. You know what? Why did I not mention Charles so far? You see, maybe that's why, because Charles is a troll. Charles wants to try whenever Charles wants to try. You see, Charles will be probably the most dangerous person in the game for a good 18 seconds, right? For a good 18 seconds, Charles will be the most dangerous person in the game. But then he would just vanish. Like the Avatar, he would just freaking just vanish. He would just be nowhere in the field. He'll be nowhere to be seen. And then like Loki is putting a lot of stocks in this kid, bro. Loki's putting a lot of stocks in this 15-year-old kid. Which gotta mean something. Because you don't just be a pro player and invest all of your stocks into this like fidgety soccer player, right? He's good. He's a good fidgety soccer player, but he's fidgety, right? So it's cool to see just how much of a troll Charles is. 'Cause I think he's understanding that Isagi is like the main problem. So like literally before Isagi scored a few chapters back, it was Charles that stopped it, right? It was Charles that came in and intercepted it. He came in for the one time in the chapter just to stop Isagi, just to be like, "Ooh, well, I bet you thought you're gonna get that." That was cool. Charles is just what do you call it? Not a ball crusher. I mean, Charles is like a what do you call it? You know what I'm talking about. He's the thing that that people do when you don't want to let someone progress. He's not a wedding crasher. Yeah, whatever. Charles is that. Charles is there just a troll. And I don't think he even cares about his soccer career like that, bro. He's just like, you know what Charles is like? Charles is kind of like Hatsumi Sen from King and Ashura and Omega, because like he is just going with the flow, bro. He does not care if he win or lose. The only time he cares if he win or lose is if his pride is on the line. He's like, oh, I want to beat this person, so I'm gonna beat this person. Other than that, there's no motivation there. And that is actually a pretty cool way to orchestrate PXG's defeat, because there's two reasons why PXG will be defeated. One will be Charles either intentional sabotaging or unintentional sabotaging of the team, by whether he is not trying in the last plays, or he does try but he does his own thing instead of working with a team. Or option two, we could have Itochi Rin just tunnel vision, just crash out. We just have Itoshi Rin just crash out, and he just he is so fixated on Isagi, so fixated on destroying Isagi, that he just doesn't see any other opportunities to play on that field, and he just kind of just botches it for the team. Those are the only two ways I see PXG losing. Which is actually pretty set up from the beginning. From the very, very beginning, when Isagi and Rin had that face-off in the beginning, and Isagi said, I'm going to be the #1 striker. And then Rin was like, #1 striker? Who cares about that? I just care about destroying you. Bam! Right there, Rin lost. Right there, Rin lost the game. Ren's whole goal is to destroy Isagi. Not to win the game, not to be the #1 blue locker, but to beat Isagi. And it's all just subjective, because numbers-wise, he beat Isagi, right? Goal-wise, he scored way more goals than Isagi, right? Notoriety-wise, he's definitely not far behind the blue lock hero, because he's the brother of a famous football player, right? So it's not like he's for sure behind Isagi. Like Igaguri, he's behind Isagi. When we think about someone who's behind Isagi, it's Igaguri, right? Ren is not behind, technically behind Isagi. It's all in his head, right? So he's gonna crash out. That's the way PXG's gonna lose. He's gonna crash out, and it's gonna be a fun watch. But that's really all I gotta say about it. I'm excited. I'm happy about the PXG game. So far, I think what's carrying me about this game is the expectations I have. But so far, I really did enjoy Ubers the best. Ubers was just like, it was a nail biter. And the reason why it was a nail biter, because we didn't know whether Barcelona was going to lose or not. Because both plot-wise could play out very well, right? Where one option, they lose Ubers, and then they go into the PXG game with a fire under their belly, with a need to win. But what we got was that, Barcelona just undefeated, straight up undefeated. So I love Ubers because it had that tense nature, and obviously borrow. You know what I'm saying? Obviously borrow. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys have a good day, bro. Peace.
Penny X.